But because you whitewashed it with Scarlett Johansson, nothing against her. I think she's great. All you needed to do, just make the lead actor / actress.
Yeah, get a Scarlett Kim.
Pretty much. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, shit, man.
Welcome to the worst Asian podcast. Come waste your time listening to a couple Asian American millennials give our shitty opinions on all things Asian. My name is Linji. I'm here with my co-host, Ben.
Hello.
How you doing today, Ben?
I'm good, man. What's up, dude?
Only an hour late.
Oh, yeah. Is it an hour? No, it's like, okay, starting wise, about like 30 minutes late.
Keeping that bar real low.
You know what, man? You know what? I'm gonna try to destroy it. No expectations, and then I'm gonna reverse it, like reverse Uno.
Uno reverse.
Exactly, and then you're gonna be like, "Whoa, Ben, who is this?"
We've got a lot to talk about today.
Checks
so
and
I'm
balances.
With the recent success of Shang-Chi and now the global sensation Squid Games, I thought it would be a good time for us to talk about Asian American representation.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Modern media.
In modern media,
Specifically modern media.
I love it. I'm really excited about this one.
You recently saw Shang-Chi.
Yeah, man.
Your
I
thoughts?
did. My thoughts. Wow, damn. You're like fucking like just. What did I think about Shang-Chi? I thought it was a great movie. There were some things that did kind of like make me feel uncomfortable and cringe.
Did you watch it by yourself?
Funny story. I was supposed to watch it with someone, but she.
I see.
Yeah.
So you went to the theater alone?
No, dude. I forced my friend. He was watching the Yankees game. Yo, you want to watch Shang-Chi? And he's like, bro, I don't really want to see it. It seems corny. I was like, come on, bro. It's going to be mad fun. And I was forcing him because, like, I got canceled. I had nothing to do. We're going to go over it. So I was like, yo, I got to watch this shit.
There's no better transition than a Yankees game directly into
to Shang-Chi, bro.
Shang-Chi. And you really didn't want to just watch it alone?
No, dude. But see, that's what I'm saying. That was my dedication, bro. I was like, yo, I got to watch this fucking movie.
There's nothing wrong with watching a movie alone.
I know.
Especially COVID now.
I was thinking about that.
You can just think of excuses.
I know. You know what's funny? Like, when we got there was literally just me and my friend. We sat in those recliner in Bay Terrace, the one with the nice leather seats. There was one guy by himself, and then there was like a couple in front of us. And I was just like thinking, I was like, damn, like, I then made my friend uncomfortable because I was sitting right next to him. And he purposely first sat like one seat like away from me.
But it's all assigned seating now.
It is, but then they're not gonna say shit, right?
That's true.
For some reason, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I can barely hear you, man. Like, I want to talk to you," and I forced myself to sit there. I like Simu Liu. I liked him in Kim's Convenience.
Were you hyped up for it prior to watching?
Yeah, dude. But I was also just like you.
You're also like 3-4 weeks late.
I know.
You didn't like dive into that initial first week hype like I did.
What can I say? I like the movie. I like Simu Liu. I'm a big Awkwafina fan. I love Awkwafina.
Right.
I'll be honest. I kind of thought it was a little cringy. Like, I thought they kind of overused her in every fucking scene.
Just for context, Ben is Korean. And this movie is predominantly Chinese.
Yes.
Not that matters.
Not that it matters.
But just to give everyone context.
Also, my best friends are Chinese, okay? So, let's just throw it out there.
Ni hao ma.
Yeah, ni hao mao, wo ai ni, wei sima, all that good stuff, okay? Xie xie, okay?
So it wasn't the language thing that...
Oh, no.
Okay, fine.
I like the dad.
Tony Leung.
Yo, dude, he's fucking badass, bro.
He is.
I don't know who he is, but I was like...
I'll go into that later. Because there are a bunch of predominantly Eastern actors and actresses that they brought over to this movie. Yeah. That was kind of like a first-time thing.
Dude, freaking... Like, when he was like wearing like his suits and shit, I was like, yo, this guy has like that Chinese gangster mafia look. I was like, yo, this guy's handsome in his like Chinese dad way. Like Chinese dad gangster way. I loved it. Simu Liu, I thought he was fucking badass. I'm glad he actually got the part. I'm pretty sure you know about too, like him getting the role. He was just tweeting about it pretty much to Kevin Feige, right?
I think that's gonna somehow become more folklore than actual fact. But yes, there is that story where he tweeted, "Hey Marvel, what's up?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, what's up, girl?"
I cannot imagine that directly translated into him getting the role.
It incepted.
Right. He just put that thought into their brain.
Exactly, man.
Chinese inception.
Chinese inception.
But props to him, and it makes for a good story.
That chick from like, I'm gonna fuck it up. Is she from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? That old Asian lady. You know what I'm talking about? She was like the auntie. She was
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, there
Crouching
you go.
Tiger, this guy.
Is she not from Crouching Tiger?
She might actually be.
She might be, dude. She might be.
She's been around for a while.
I'm going to say it again. I am Korean, but I love my Chinese people.
I don't know what Michelle Yeoh is, though.
Is it Yo or you?
Yeoh?
Yo? Okay.
I don't know if she's specifically Chinese.
Really? No, she has to be
She has
Chinese,
to be,
bro.
right?
She has to be, bro.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, man, she looks
I didn't look
good.
that up. Part of what they did that I thought was very good was obviously they had the name American Western actors like, Simu Liu, Aquafina,
They did a good job with the casting.
Chung,
Ronnie
Benedict
Chang.
Wong.
Yes.
But at the same time, they brought people over like Fala Chen. That's the mother.
Oh, yeah.
So they brought over.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I remember my wife was raving about her. Oh, yeah, she used to be like some kind of model out in China. Blah,
Oh,
blah,
for
blah.
real?
Yeah, and then she came over.
Kung Fu makes you sexy, bro. That's what it is.
You should try it, but probably wouldn't work.
Oof. I'm going to, man. I need that.
Tony Leung, that's the dad you were talking about.
Yeah,
he's a big shot actor over in Hong Kong, mainland China from like the
Oh.
90s and everything. He's been around
I was
forever.
gonna say, man, like, how's this guy not discovered? I was like, yo, this guy looks like he's been acting, bro.
Supposedly, this is his first Western American film.
For real?
Not that he's been offered, but that he's actually taken the role of doing.
Damn.
He's kind of like on the tail end of his career. He's done a lot over there. He's kind of just
Right.
looking for roles he wants to do.
Like his resume is like stacked in,
Right,
in fucking
right,
Hong Kong.
Right. So he's a big name over there. So
Man, that's cool.
I like the
dude.
fact that there was a good mix of Western and Eastern Asian actors. I wouldn't have even thought about that unless my wife, that's Tony Leung, that's
Yeah.
Fala Chen, this and
Oh,
that.
them. You taking your family and you have like all these different like generations, right? And like just different backgrounds, you know? Our parents came from like overseas. We're watching this fucking movie and it's like, yo, I know some of these like
Yeah,
fucking like it's like
this guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it probably made them like have a little tear and shit, you know?
Maybe not tear, getting a bit too sentimental. But
No?
kind of to bounce off that point, because there's so much pent up demand because of COVID and because people haven't been able to see things like this. No offense to Black Widow. It was like partially on TV, partially in theaters.
On Disney Plus and all that. Did you like Black Widow? I thought it was okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So we need to take off our rose-colored glasses for a sec and realize that part of this was finally we got to see a big exclusive theater-only Marvel movie,
Right.
and that can attribute to part
Felt
of the
good.
success as well.
That's good. Yeah, you're right. It felt really good, man.
Because
really good.
you don't know how well this would have done if it was like a regular scheduled Marvel movie where they pump out 2, 3, 4 in a whole year.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Where you kind of get that satisfaction, and then 2 months later
We
you
were
have
so
another one.
spoiled, bro.
We
We
were.
were spoiled, man.
Yeah.
We had like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Endgame. If you want to give it like a number scale, what do you want to do? Thumbs up, thumbs down? How do you like a 0 to a 10?
Okay.
How many tomatoes? How many
Objectively,
dim sums you want to give it?
it's doing pretty good.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes, right?
Yeah, rotten dumplings.
It's
or
doing
something.
pretty good. 90 something as
Yeah.
of the time of this recording.
Yeah, it is.
At some point in the first couple of weeks, it was the highest rated Marvel movie on Rotten Tomatoes. but-
Audience score is like in the high 90s, and then the critics was like in the 80s, which is great.
Well, I think it's both leveled
90s?
off in the 90s right now as of
okay,
this
we'll fact
recording.
check later.
And we joked about that previously. You have a lot of maybe non-Asian critics who are a little bit too afraid to go too harsh.
Oh man, dude, yeah, I'm glad.
So
you mentioned that.
get like handicap points.
Yeah, yo, you're right. Yeah, that's a good point, man.
I mean, that's a fact.
Did you love the movie? Like, did you love it? Like, yo, I gotta own this thing on DVD. That's like how I know, like, if I love the movie. It's like,
I
oh,
went
would
in
love-
with very tamed down expectations,
Mhm.
and for the most part, they were surpassed. Not to say
Okay.
that this was
I can see
a
what you
great
mean.
movie, but
Right.
you saw the plot points coming. You knew it was going to be like a safe movie. It was going to be
Right.
like the Asian career. It's going to be the accountant, lawyer, doctor of Marvel movies. It's going to take the Asian approach. We're going to do it very safe.
The Marvel account.
We're not going to go too crazy.
Yeah.
And it did that.
Okay.
So I give it a solid
Mm-hmm.
B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
What about you?
I like the letter grade, by the way. I'm like, should we do numbers? Thumbs up, thumbs down. We're like the Asian now. Remember that too? Roger Ebert and stuff. Yeah, I would say somewhere in the B, somewhere around there. Cause it did most part, like it was entertaining. I kind of lost interest towards the end. I do think like I realize I'm just not a big CGI guy.
Right.
That's like the one thing. I love the fight scenes, the
Mhm.
choreographing scenes, like that
Yeah,
bus
it's good.
scene. Dude,
Good choreography in there.
amazing. I didn't know.
Legit,
And
yeah.
Simu Liu is like, I didn't know, but he had a background.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, he has a background in martial arts
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So I
And
was
that
like,
whole bus scene just reminded me of 80s, 90s Jackie Chan fight scenes.
right, dude. Yeah.
Like had that vibe to it.
Yo, dude, like he can legit do backflips and stuff.
Yeah, good
like,
for him.
The things I didn't like about CGI, that was one.
Okay, but you got to put that on level playing ground because all the Marvel movies, all the superhero movies, that whole genre is just saturated with CGI, good or bad.
Right. So, you know,
take
like,
that out, you're wrong. Next.
No. You can have different adaptations, like a character. That's why I use Black Panther as an example. I thought him in Civil War was a better version of Black Panther than he was in actual Black Panther in terms of like the fight scenes. You know, like
yeah, that's because you got him only when he was jumping and kicking.
Right, but it was like live action. That's what I'm a fan of live action.
Right.
That's the main thing I have. And like I think like it kind of does a disservice when like you said like Tony Leung, Simu Liu, like it looks like even Tony Leung, he looks like he has martial arts background.
Not so much actually.
No?
Yeah.
He looked pretty like natural too. I was like,
right.
oh, this guy looks like he knows how to fuck shit up. Like there's a scene in the movie where, and I think you know where
not all Chinese people are born with martial arts skills.
Bro, dude, like I hope like people that watch it like, yo, I can't fuck with Chinese people. Like I don't know if they know. They might know martial arts. Maybe they're also a little baby Simu Liu Jr. and their dad forced them to fight and shit. I think like live action I'm a big fan of. The director, I thought, if he was in charge of like the fight scenes, I'm like, yo, I definitely could see like I had like Dragon Ball like vision. So like live action Dragon Ball.
Not the live action remake.
Not
Dragon
that
Ball.
one. Not that trash shit. All right. Not that one.
Because a lot of those creatures, you know, slash that mythical element needed the CGI. So there was no way around it.
Right.
You weren't going to get like a traditional old school Jackie Chan,
like Bruce Lee
type of straight action fighting kind of thing.
I agree. I know what you mean. I mean, you would know better, but like it looks like some of those creatures are actually from folklore, like Chinese folklore.
Right.
And I thought that was really cool. Like I was watching it. I was like, man, like whoever designed these creatures, like did a great job. But then I was thinking, wait a minute, I was like, why do I feel like I've seen these things before? Even like the Chinese New Year parade, right?
Yeah, there is certain creatures, like especially the.
It was really cool.
Was it the guard lion dog?
Yeah, that was badass.
You've probably seen that everywhere. You know, like that's sometimes
that was cool.
In front of buildings. There's like little statues in people's houses right in front. It's kind of like a guard dog thing.
You know what I thought was kind of corny? The scene with like Aquafina, you know, like kind of saved the day.
Oh, with her bow and arrow?
Yeah, like, dude, I was like, oh.
With her 15-minute YouTube how to shoot a bow and arrow session.
I was like, oh, great. There's a montage, kind of.
Yeah, but you had to give her character some kind of glory.
Why? She could have been the damsel in distress or something. Or she could have been the one in danger. That's my, take on it. Besides that, I love her. She's fucking hilarious. She really carried the movie. There was some really strong, like, the dad, Simu Liu, and Aquafina. I think
it seemed like there was some really good chemistry between all of them.
Great chemistry, dude.
Right.
And I was thinking, like, man, I wonder if she like just like improv'd a lot of those scenes.
Aquafina played her character from what we've seen in media, like how she is in real life. Yeah. Not to say that we know her, obviously, but from the interviews.
She's gonna be on the show, bro. We're gonna have her here.
2025.
you're like scratching your. I was like, yo, bro, you wish, man.
Yeah, 2025. After she's been canceled for some really bad thing, she's gonna be picking at the bottom of the barrel in terms of podcast to be on. She'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's like, oh, fuck
I got no choice. I got no choice. Like... Jimmy Fallon's not calling.
Oh man, she does a lot of shit. She had her own show on Comedy Central.
We'll get into that later, yeah.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I just hope she doesn't become like the Tiffany Haddish of like of Asian culture. That's what I was gonna say. She's just in everything.
I know.
That's what I'm.
Hey,
that's my biggest
props
fear.
to her. She's being offered the role. She's taking them. She's making that cash.
Yo, she is, man. She's making it.
Good for her.
It happen, bro. Yeah.
Okay, you have any final points on Shang-Chi before we move on?
Go see it. I might go watch it again.
I think that's always a good measurement of how good a movie is would you pay more money to see the exact same content again?
And you got me there.
And I remember for like a whole solid week, my wife was half joking, when are we watching this shit again?
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, she was way into it.
Dude, I might watch it tonight. Yeah, I don't want to stream this shit, bro. Like, that's another thing. I'm like, yo, we got to represent this shit. I want this shit to hit 400 million.
You want to give them that hard-earned money.
Yeah, I want to give Aquafina and Simu, I want to give them that.
Never paying full price for anything.
Aquafina, Simu, if you
not even
this.
To my own people.
If you could shout us out for free tickets.
Someone out there get me that Fandango promo code and I'll go watch this shit again.
Yeah, Fandango.
We didn't see this coming because by the time we scripted out this episode, we were only going to talk about Shang-Chi. But then Squid Games hit.
Yeah, man.
So September is the new Asian Heritage Month. Forget February. Forget February. Yeah. September/fall 2021 is Asian Pacific Islander Heritage
Month. Let's have 2 months, baby.
The funny thing was, you showed me the trailer for Squid Game before it released, and I was like, it looks like it's going to be good. Some mixture of Hunger Games slash Escape Room, the horror movie. I was like, all right, this looks interesting.
And like a little, like those Asian like variety shows.
Right. And then that shit came out. And it was trending everywhere. Yeah. Even my wife was telling me about that. And she goes to the premier source for current events, Instagram and Facebook. This was something that I thought I was just going to be watching by myself.
You thought I was going to like pass.
Yeah. Well, not pass. Just consume it just to consume it because it's there. Yeah. But then once it started trending, once my wife was on board watching this, we binged it like in a week. Which I know is not really binging, but busy schedules and everything, that takes a lot of effort to watch a whole series in a week together.
Dude, I know this one couple, they did it in one day.
Yeah, it's crazy. 0 kids, right?
0. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. 1 week binging for me and my wife with a kid.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
That's impressive, bro.
Yeah, that takes a lot of effort.
That does, yeah. I'm actually surprised, man.
That takes more effort than Ben coming to this pod, recording on time.
Wow. It was only one time, guys.
You're looking back at it and you can see why it blew up so much. Some of the icons, whatever, they're very memeable. They're very tailored towards this modern day social media.
Okay.
From everyone that was talking about it, what you mean, like a natural social media boom that kind of like picked it up.
No, that's a crazy thing. See, like the fact that you just mentioned it, I can think about some of the things about it that stick out about the show, like the honeycomb thing. Now it's like a thing in Korea.
Yeah, there's like things everywhere about this show that's just tailor-made for the internet.
Dude,
and it's crazy. TikTok, Instagram, it's all about Squid Game.
The same idea with K-pop. It just sticks to like, the music videos. You can't really listen to K-pop until you want to watch the music videos first. Same thing with Squid Games now. Now it's like, there's something associated like the honeycomb stuff without trying to spoil anything. They said, is it true now? It's like the #1 show of all time from Netflix.
The CEO just, as an off comment said that it has a chance to be the most watched show.
What was it before history. Ozark?
I don't know. No.
Narcos.
It's like something stupid.
I think it was Narcos.
It's always something stupid.
No, Fred.
But the fact that a show like this has the potential and it is on course right now to be the most watched show on Netflix globally is kind of insane. It's
kind of like when Parasite took over.
Korean media for the past decade or so has been building itself up to this point.
Yes.
If this movie had been, hypothetically been the exact same movie, but just been spoken in Japanese or maybe even Chinese or anything, it probably would not have had the same amount of success. But because you have this...
That's a really good take. Oh, yeah, that's really
You have this core acceptance of Korean culture, K-pop, recent K-dramas and things like that it was built for this to kind of explode.
That made my eyes like squint, like, oh.
And I'm not trying to take away from the merits of the actual show itself.
Right.
Because the show itself, just on its own, it's pretty good.
It's very like, it's new. It's like refreshing in a way.
And because it's on Netflix, I think some of the stuff that it can get away with in terms of rating, this is not on NBC or ABC, this is not PG-13.
Right.
I don't know what is the limit in terms of content that you can put on a nationally broadcast show, but because it's on Netflix.
I mean, there's contracts and stuff, but like, you need a time segment still, like it's scheduled.
I'm talking about just the actual content stuff, it being a very bloody... some of the themes of the show.
Right. Yeah, you can't watch that. It's like, after Friends, we got Squid Games. Like, you can't do that. Like...
Followed by a rerun of Seinfeld.
Like, you can't do that shit. Squid Games is kind of like... It's like one episode of Black Mirror, but then they took that one episode and they really went into it.
The theme itself is not really that crazy. I'm sure there are some movies that we probably are forgetting completely that have the same idea. People want money... Battle Royale, throw them onto some
Battle Royale. That's a good point.
The actual movie Battle Royale.
Exactly. Good fucking point, man. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that it takes from that's not new. But the way that it comes together, all of that created this crazy monster of a success.
I think the main driving force too that makes it so successful is like, just visually, you watch it. It's almost like how they do like a K-pop video. It's like hypnotizing. From what they wear, the color schematic, everything that they're doing it's very well thought out. What do you call that? Like the stair scene, that weird drawing, like MC Hesher or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like almost like that style,
Staircases going around.
Right. There's definitely like influences you see, and about like how he was trying to get this script bought.
You talking about the actor? I mean,
the director.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was trying to get this. He had the script for like almost a decade. No one wanted this shit, to the point where this part I don't know if it's true. He was so down and like broke that he had to even sell his laptop just to like get by.
That's the writer you're talking about.
This is the writer director guy. He just was like, yo, I believe in this. I cannot. It's almost like Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, like Sylvester Stallone's like, I have to play it.
Yeah.
The movies, the studio guys were like, we'll buy it from you for, it was like 75,000. Oh no, I need to play it, blah, blah. Eventually happened. Look at him now.
Yep.
You know, same thing with the director. He almost gave up on it. Well, I don't want to say gave up on it, but he almost lost it.
Hopefully it's like a stepping stone to him creating other things. Assuming he has more other original ideas like this.
Yeah, now he's like, fuck it, bro. I'm rich, you know? He's
Yeah,
like,
you don't even know that.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
You don't even know how much people make off stuff like this.
Imagine Netflix like G'd him for that. You're right.
I read that this movie only cost 40 million USD,
Really?
which is for a 9-episode,
Right.
fairly long series.
It's well shot.
It would seem like that's on the cheaper end. The
Yeah.
ratio of money that it's actually going to make for Netflix for their 40 million invested in this.
Just, yeah, they're going to
It's
have that show
crazy.
forever.
Netflix has been trying to make their own content, movies, TVs with big name actors so that
Right.
they have movies equivalent to the stuff you see in theaters.
Right.
There's that thing coming out with The Rock,
Is there?
Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot,
No way.
all in one movie.
On Netflix?
It's like some big movie that they're doing.
That's like 300 million right there, bro.
Plus 200 million to make that movie.
Damn.
And I'm sure that movie's going to do well because it has such big names in it.
It's like, you want to just pay The Rock? Or you want to have like Squid Games? Yeah.
Do you actually know some of the actors in Squid Game?
No. So actually, only one I know that's famous is.
I think I know who you're going to say.
it's gonna be the main guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's actually like, and the only reason why I know this is I was watching it, and then my dad, you know, is like, "Hey,
Was your dad watching this with you?
yeah,
Oh,
no."
that's hilarious.
He's like, "Hey, you watching Squid Games? Do you know about it?" I was like, "Yeah." Wow, look at that. And then he was like telling me about the games that they're playing and stuff like red light, green light.
Yeah.
Also, another thing about Squid Games.
Squid Game bringing fathers and sons together.
Yes, it is. Weirdly enough. Yeah, weirdly enough. It was pretty cool. One thing about watching things with my dad is that he just loves to talk, and I'm trying to focus on it. And it's like, Dad, I'm trying to watch this shit. He's like, oh, yeah, but let me try to explain this part right here. Do you know why? In Korea? I'm like, okay, Dad, that's great. So I can finish this shit. The translation is terrible. Like, my Korean sucks, but there's a lot of parts where I'm listening. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And
Oh,
then
so you had it with Korean audio and English dubs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh, is
Korean
there-
audio and English subs.
There's English dub.
I watched
Oh,
the
shit,
first
dude.
episode in English. I'm used to reading subtitles because I watch so much anime.
Yeah.
But my wife, I
Yes,
was
you
like,
do.
I don't want to stress her out by having her read something. So we watched that first episode dubbed in English.
Yeah.
I did not get the stereotypical
Mhm.
Korean authenticity to their arguments and their yelling
Yeah. Right.
that I had to switch over
Yeah.
to the original voice acting. I was like,
right. You're like, oh, that's
now I'm
it.
getting that sweet,
That
sweet
Shiba
Korean-
Sheki.
Exactly.
Yeah, you needed that.
I needed that.
You know, when he's like losing his shit.
I'm not even joking. It actually
Yeah.
makes a difference.
It does, right? You know, it's funny when I'm watching, like, especially the first episode, the dad's going through his shit, right? Like his mannerisms, some of the things, I was like, oh man, this is like hitting close to home.
Is
in a
it?
way. Yeah, I was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh, this is
great.
weird. My dad was saying, he's like, he knows actors. Oh, he said that that's actually one of his favorite actors.
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
You mean the main lead?
The main guy.
Nice. You bring people in
Mm-hmm.
are hopefully like higher tier Korean actors,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the whole budget for the movie is less than 40
Right.
million USD.
Yeah, we're living this moment right now.
It's crazy.
great. Yeah.
Hopefully, this wakes up Netflix, other studios to say, hey, we need to give some of these Eastern movies a shot. You know, some of these scripts can be adapted.
Yes. What Asian representation did we see in media when we were younger?
When we were younger,
Yes. Yes.
I think the only representation of myself I saw on TV as a kid growing up in the 90s
Yeah.
was Trini, aka the Yellow Ranger,
Oh my God. Yeah.
and Mulan, aka we need an Asian princess just so we can sell more toys.
I had a crush on Mulan.
I never saw myself in the TV.
Like you didn't see that, but like I can relate. Yeah.
No, we were just like
That's
the
me.
token Asian person.
We're the token Asian person. Oh,
So
man.
people that
Yeah.
are growing up with this amount of content don't
Right.
understand how lackluster the options were when we were kids.
It's good if you're like an Asian American now. For me personally, it was Bruce Lee for a period.
Right. Bruce Lee movies were predominantly in the 70s, but I think it's timeless. So if you're
Right.
a kid now, if you're a kid in the 90s, you want to watch some good martial arts movies.
Right.
The whole Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Jet Li early
Right.
stuff, that's where
Right.
you can kind of go to.
Right. Like I was gonna say, like those guys.
Isn't it crazy that we've come full circle? from the 70s to, what is it now, 2020s.
Yeah, you have to think about that. You're like, oh shit, it's 2020.
Full circle, and we go from one Asian guy kicking and punching to another Asian guy kicking and punching.
Oh shit, you're right, man.
That's progress.
That's right. Progress. You're right.
That's
Amen.
Sarcastic progress.
Sarcastic progress, man.
That's all we had, right? I think it was just that crap, Trini, Mulan, and then we got a good dose of Jet Li and Jackie Chan. But Jet Li and Jackie Chan playing co-starring roles.
Right. Remember we watched, what was that movie we watched together? The one?
Romeo Must Die.
Oh man, Romeo Must Die. And I feel like that brought like black and Asian people together too.
What was the biggest bump we got with Asians in mainstream deal over the past couple of years?
Oh, past couple of years.
I mean,
I feel like there's a few, but
Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh yeah, you're
that
right.
That was when things got real crazy.
I had a lot of Caucasian people
talking about that.
Yeah, like breaking ice to me about it.
Pre-Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, we got the sprinkle of Asian actresses here and there, but Crazy Rich Asians being a in-theater movie, being a fairly big production.
You know who was kind of like the forefront of that? The actress? Constance Wu. She was like in everything at one point, right?
Speaking of her, she was in Fresh Off the Boat, the TV series.
Yeah. I think that's like she was there. I had like a weird crush on her, and I was like, oh yeah. And then she got in that show. I was like, damn.
That plus Crazy Rich Asians plus Kim's Convenience, and like you were saying earlier, Awkwafina's in like everything. She's in that show Nora from Queens. That's
a funny show, bro.
Shout out to Queens because we're from Queens, New York.
Yo, that shit's hilarious, bro.
So she was in that.
That's a good show.
And then you had Steven Yeun in Minari.
Oh, yeah. Minari, baby. Great movie, too, man.
And now you have Shangchi, Squid Game, and you got a bunch of other shit coming out later on. So it is like the prime time. It is such a plethora of all this stuff that kids don't realize the kind of crap that we had when we were kids.
The crap that we had. Mulan and the Yellow Ranger. Man.
Does that really even matter? Does it make a big difference? Like the fact that you and I grew up with very little representation on TV and in theaters.
Right.
Does that really matter?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
How so?
It's like, for the longest time, let's be real, Asians are like looked as like, oh, they're dweeby. Oh, they're going to do my homework. Oh, they got pencils in their pocket. Like,
yeah, but that's always been the stereotype. So what's the difference with the content that's coming out now? I
think what it does is that it kind of normalizes and in a way, like it normalizes that, oh yeah, Asians, yo, you can talk to us and, you know, we're just as American as you. Like, I think that's really important. I remember Andrew Yang kind of went on that. I actually kind of agreed with him when I forgot what he was running for at that time, but he was mentioning it.
He was running and losing something again.
Yeah, he's 0-2. Don't worry, it's a 7-game series, baby. 7-game series, baby. Come back of the year, man. He was mentioning, like, you know, as Asian American, it is our duty or civic duty to integrate within society. I always felt that like some Asian people tend to be standoffish. You know, I've had conversations with my friends that are not Asians about like how like, are Asian people like, are we cool? Like,
so as much as you don't want to say that TV and the media can actually change people's perceptions of races and cultures and different things, it does. Even if it doesn't directly do it, the fact that it's there and it's more accessible and it's more commonplace, that in itself makes it more normal.
Exactly, dude. Like, you look at Flushing, right? We're born and raised in Flushing for most part of our life.
Flushing, Queens, New York.
Gang. Now I notice like there's a lot more non-Asian people and they're younger too. Now Flushing is almost like a touristy spot, you know? Where people
it's definitely a touristy spot.
I was like kind of like shocked by it because I guess it's just like flew over my head, but now I'm noticing it and I kind of welcome it. Oh, like now people are like, you know, they want to learn Korean, they want to learn Chinese, you know, they want to try our foods, they want to try cooking our food. Mm-hmm. I'm all for that kind of like United Nations barter and trade and, you know, get to know each other's cultures. I think it's really, really important, especially with times like this.
I agree.
I think it's our job to like represent. If I have a moment where I'm outside, if I can help someone, and especially if they're like not Asian and stuff, it's my job to like kind of show people like, we're all in this together. I'm just as much as a citizen.
I think we have the same thinking on this, but just from two different places. You would be more likely to be proactive about doing all this. You know, I'm more the person on the sidelines, that backseat driver who's like always nagging you.
Yeah.
Whether or not it matters to every single person living their everyday lives, especially as a minority here in this country, you've got much more important shit to worry about than whether or not you're seeing yourself on Netflix.
That's true.
I've got a son, and he's going to be growing up in this culture.
Right.
Where hopefully he gets to see more of himself on TV. Now, by no means do I think he needs to like Shang-Chi more than Spider-Man and Superman.
Right.
None of that really matters. I just want it to be normalized where just seeing someone that looks like him on TV isn't even a thought. Less about going around waving our flags and trying to show pride.
You mentioned Minari. You watch that movie. There's nothing kung fu-y about it.
There is absolutely nothing.
You know, it's very different, you know, and like it was really refreshing. What's it, Farewell?
The Farewell with Awkwafina.
Yeah, that was a great movie too.
Those two are a bit different. The Farewell was a majority Asian cast. It was set in an Asian country. Minari was set in the middle of the country somewhere where the cast was predominantly non-Asian, but it was about an Asian family. Minari is more important.
Yes.
You saw an immigrant family trying to do a very American thing.
Yes, exactly. In terms of like just like media going back onto it, right? There's a big like shift. Being a chef now is being a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, like food, you know, food is sexy. Food is like the new dichotomy of like, yo, what's hip? There's a lot of Asians that are in there. I'll shout out to my friend Jay Lee. He owns this restaurant, No On. He does little segments on Vice, Munchies. He's a returning guest now.
I've seen that.
And it's just amazing. It's like, oh my God, like, I just like drink and chill with you. He tries to like push the narrative. I'm a chef, not just because I'm Asian, but it's because like I can bring something of my own Korean culture, bring it here, put my own twist on it, and just, you know, explain it eloquently.
And that's where this stuff really matters because rising tide raises all boats.
Whoa.
You know, you've got like,
okay.
You've got these big movies and TV shows and they bring
Say that
us
again?
to the forefront.
Yeah, say it one more time. Yeah, say it again, bro.
Rising tides raise all boats.
Woo. Yo,
I feel like I'm talking to like a 5-year-old here.
Oh, man. I wish I had like that alarm, you know. Sorry, go on with your...
One final point. Movies like Minari, where it's not an Asian movie per se, whatever you want to quote unquote call an Asian movie, I think that's kind of stuff is more important. That's why like there's a movie, The Last Christmas. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Henry Golding from
Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Right? Handsome man,
and
very handsome.
Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mother of Dragons.
Yeah.
Those two came together in a really shitty Christmas rom-com.
Oh. Yeah, the way you're like, yo, they got together, like, and they created the worst shit ever.
A really C-grade movie. The Last Christmas starring... But my point is, I think that type of movie is more important. You have a co-star/star that's of Asian heritage in a regular movie. He's not in a quote-unquote Asian movie.
You know, also, there's not enough Asian heartthrobs. That's another thing, too. So that's, you know, respect to them for taking that chance. Do you have any recommendations? Any Asian American movies or Asian international movies?
When I was a kid and when I first met my wife, this was the first movie we ever watched on our first date.
Nice.
You're Asian, I'm Asian. Let's watch an Asian movie.
Yeah,
not that many to pick from where someone's not kicking or punching. So we defaulted to a cult classic, Better Luck Tomorrow.
Ah, that's where
Have you ever watched that?
I did.
That movie's got a lot of people that you kind of know. John Cho. You got Han from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, shit. Was Han in? Oh, you're right.
What's his name? Han So?
Fuck,
Han's not his real name.
No, Han is
legit not his real name. It's like Sung Kang or something.
I think you're right.
It's like Sung Ho Kang or something.
I think you're right, dude.
Whatever. Han from Fast and Furious. This movie's like 20 years old.
Right.
I can spoil it. It's a bunch of Asian teenagers, and I think they're Asian American teenagers who come together and they try to
Cali or something
scam a casino by counting cards.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, there was not a movie with a whole cast full of Asian people.
Yeah, that's important.
That was a good movie.
It was. You're right.
And I know it has a special place in my heart just because it was like the only movie back then.
Yeah, look at you, a little softy. That's
Ben, do you have any recommendations?
Damn. Go listen to Linkin Park if you never heard of them. They're fucking great.
Do you have any stuff that you're looking forward to?
Yes, I do. I think we talked about it briefly. Blue Bayou. Oh, actually, it just came out. Bayou. This is a movie that's not about like fucking kung fu and shit. And what's really cool about it is like, I was watching the trailer. It's about some adopted Asian guy. I think he plays a Korean guy in there. He is Korean. The actor is Justin Chan. I don't know if you remember, but I was like, man, this guy looks so familiar.
He's been in stuff. He's been
dude, he was in Twilight.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, dude.
He was the token Asian guy in Twilight.
Yo, there you go. He was the token fucking Asian guy. Yes, that's the perfect example, right? He was that, right? And like you see him now, I'm like, whoa, he's like this grizzly Asian dude that looks like he saw some shit, right? When you see the trailer, right?
In Bayou, he
Or
plays
adopted.
someone that was adopted, but he
Right.
grew up at a very young age in like the deep
Louisiana.
South. So he's got
Yeah.
that deep Southern accent.
Yeah. Like, got
And
that
now he's
crawfish.
trying to like deal with his family issues.
Ooh, yeah.
And from the trailer, he's being deported.
He gets into like a scruff with like the cop, kind of knows his chick that he's dating, which has like, she's like a baby mama, right? You can't take that crawfish, boy. And then he's like, well, I'll take it, boy. Ice Agents comes like,
That's like line for line what he says in the trailer.
yeah, I think so, right? It's like, you can't take me home. It's like, yeah. It's like, what? They're going to take me home. I'm sorry. I'm totally fucking up, but he's in a relationship with some chick. They're going to deport him back to Korea where he has to at least do the 2 years of military service.
The character himself is basically full-fledged American except for his paperwork.
Exactly.
He's got that deep, deep Southern accent.
It looks really cool. It's dark. It's a very unconventional role for an Asian protagonist to play.
Right. And I think
which I love.
Justin also directed the movie too, right?
He did.
Right.
He
Lead
directed
actor
it,
and director.
everything. Yeah. So he's like John Krasinski this shit. You
Pretty
know?
much.
I'm excited about that. I was trying to look up like films for it, like where to watch it. Dude, in the city or in New York City, they're only showing like 2 theaters. So it's like that really like underground indie style film.
That kind of goes back to like, you can have good films, but if they're not distributed properly into a medium that's easily available to people,
Right.
then they can kind of get left behind.
Yes, that is true. You're right.
And hopefully it can be shown on a bigger streaming platform.
Reviews say like it's great, critically acclaimed. It's legitimately like it's a great film. The acting is spectacular. It's very suspenseful. I'm excited. I'm hoping I could watch that in the theater. I would like to, obviously, because we got to support, Asian gang.
I will only go watch this movie if there's a Fandango promo code.
Dude, you're not gonna find Fandango shit.
I'm glad to support these types of movies
Yeah.
at a discount. There's something coming up on Netflix, Cowboy Bebop, starring John Cho.
I forgot about that, bro.
You see, the inner manga / anime nerd in myself
Yeah.
is super hyped up for that.
Yeah. You're right. Are you a little worried though too, like about expectations, how it's gonna be? It looks cool. It looks
Wait, so
great.
do you have any idea about what Cowboy Bebop is?
Yeah, I watched the anime when it used
Did
to.
you watch it?
I watched it back then.
That's
yeah.
very surprising.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Because I only watched like Dragon Ball back then.
Pretty
Shit.
much.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is a classic anime from the late 90s. It's a Western sci-fi
Yeah.
comedy kind
That's
of
a
thing.
good way of putting it, man.
And it's coming to a live adaptation on Netflix, starring John Cho as the lead. Yes, I'm worried. Historically, anything that's anime / manga turned into a live action
Right.
just sucks. Just
Yes.
whether it's Japan making it, the West, it just tends to not be good. I have my expectations checked, having watched the original anime, liking John Cho and the stuff that he does, and having watched that trailer, I'm pretty hyped up for Cowboy Bebop.
It looked great. I thought John Cho was like he looks just like,
He legit looks like it.
it's crazy. He
Yeah.
got jacked for it. He looks like he got lean,
I mean, he's got
bro.
the big bushy head hair.
That's true too.
One trope about anime is they got exaggerated hairstyles.
Yeah.
So seeing John Cho with a slightly toned down hairstyle is,
Oh,
but he looks good.
I just remembered what I was gonna say. It involves John Cho. Searching. Do you remember that one?
I remember that's the one where
He's a dad.
He's a dad, and
He
he's looking
loses
for
his
his
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah, and he uses like the power of the internet and social media to like find the clues to finding her. That was a great movie. I was surprised by that. That was a great film. I would
remember
recommend
that
that. We're both on that. That one gets a solid A.
Hopefully, by the time this comes out, Bayou will be doing well. Will be trending somehow. Cowboy Bebop, people just don't rip it apart.
Yo, I'm gonna hear you be like, yo, I watched Cowboy Bebop. Fuck. Or it's gonna be, yo, it's fucking good.
Like I said, anime to live action is fucking hard.
Didn't they fuck up that one with that Scarlett Johansson?
Ghost in the Shell.
Didn't that suck ass?
Yeah, see, what happened with Ghost in the Shell is the movie visually was very good, but because you whitewashed it with Scarlett Johansson, nothing against her. I think she's great. All you needed to do, just make the lead actor / actress,
Yeah, get a Scarlett Kim.
pretty much. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh shit, man.
And with that, we're going to wrap things up here.
Yeah.
I thought a good thing to do on a weekly basis is we've got so much shit to cover sometimes that we just don't get to it. We're going to give each other a couple minutes to rant and rave about anything that's been happening this week.
Oh, I don't think I have anything to rant yet. I'm gonna piggyback off of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you. Let's do it.
I always have this question, if I'm the asshole. Recently, nowadays, whenever you go get takeout, they take credit cards, obviously, and they
Right.
have that touch screen thing where you swipe your
Square.
credit card. And literally the first screen that comes up is, how much do you want to tip?
Yeah.
Okay, let me preface this by saying, I think I'm a generally good tipper. Always 20 to 25%.
Oh yeah.
And if it's
when we eat, yeah.
and if it's a small check,
sure.
I'll always bump it up more. And I know that servers have it like shit dealing with customers.
That's cool, man.
Am I the asshole
right?
That when I just go get takeout and I swipe my thing and they spin that screen around and it just says, how much do you want to tip? 15, 20, 25, no tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting takeout.
Right.
I always press no tip.
I like how you guys like, for the record, this is takeout. Man.
And you work in restaurants.
I've been in the business for a while.
It's a good question for you.
I'll put it this way. Let's say you're getting takeout from me, right?
Yes.
And you didn't leave me tip. I wouldn't bat an eye. I wouldn't be like, oh, fuck this guy. Oh, I don't really deserve. I should be getting tip. All I did was probably just take the bag and just give it to you. Technically, you're not the asshole, but I think I'm gonna have.
I thought you were gonna vindicate me, but keep going.
But this is why I'm saying, like, see, for me, I don't mind because I tend to work in like a more established, fine dining style restaurants, right? Also, my hourly is just pretty taken care of, so I'm not really stressing about the money in a way. There's some people in certain restaurants or wherever they're working, right? That's tip based. Every tip counts. Everything. One time I went to an Indian restaurant. I did takeout. I walked in. It was like 7 or 8. It's dinner time. The restaurant could seat like 60, 50. Empty. Completely empty. Like, it doesn't even look like they actually had like people come in before. Like, everything looks like immaculate.
It was a tough Tuesday.
Yeah. I was like, fuck, man. I feel so bad. I was like, fuck, I gotta tip these guys. They're just standing there. What if like I'm like the one guy that gave them money in the grand scheme of things, maybe like whatever I left them doesn't do shit. But that's kind of what it is. So it's I don't want to say, yes or no.
I agree. If I walk into a restaurant, it's slow, or if I ask for something extra from the cashier, or they're like chit-chatting and it's nice and all this stuff, then yes, I'll leave a tip. But I'm talking about, because I went to Chelsea Market recently with my wife, and Chelsea Market is like a big food court. So you're going bang, 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 one food stall to another food stall.
Okay.
And it's high traffic.
I feel you. For that one, I'll say no, you're not the asshole. How about that?
Fine.
That one you're not.
I feel a little bit better. We can wrap it up here?
I think so, man.
Okay, it's been a long conversation. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this as much as we have not enjoyed it.
Oh, come on. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your company. But yeah, let's wrap it up.
Follow us on all the social medias at Worst Asian Pod. Go to www.worstasianpod.com if you're too lazy to type any of that into your favorite social media app. Leave us a review, leave us a like, leave us a comment. I'm told it matters, but at the end of the day, none of this really matters.
There you go.
Come back next week. We're going to be talking about why fusion food sucks.
Oh, stay tuned. Peace.